is the sky where the sun comes to rest, to welcome Sabbath Eve. Shadows cover the long mountain crest, to welcome Sabbath Eve. And I wait for the stillness in me, and I wait to be open and free. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Venucha v'simcha hayom. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Venucha v'simcha hayom. Lai 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 lai. Lai 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 lai. And I wait for the stillness in me, and I wait to be open and free. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Venucha v'simcha hayom. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Venucha v'simcha hayom. Ma yafeh hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Ma yafeh hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. I cannot tell you what a different vibe this space is right now from what I was doing an hour ago. We had like 60 or 70 itty-bitties and their parents crammed into the chapel, and it was like the loudest sounds I've been around in prayer in a long time. So this is about to be very different, and I'm ready for it. To help us be in this calm, holy environment, if you'll just take a second to make sure cell phones are off, alarms turned off, Apple Watches stilled, all like that, just so we can all be super present together for our service. If you haven't found it already, you can find your prayer book, Mishkan Tefillah, underneath your seat. So that is where that is hiding. If you need to step out for any reason in the service, you have the entrance you just came in. There's an exit over there and an exit behind you and behind us as well. Rabbi Rachel, here with our cantorial soloist, Jessica Tillum. Take a second or two or three, turn to somebody that you did not drive here with, introduce yourself, hello, my name is, and we'll chat for a second and then come back together.
Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Ma yafeh hayom. Shabbat Shalom. Ma yafeh hayom. Shabbat Shalom.
There we go. Friends who are also joining us online, we're about to prepare to light our Shabbat candles. So I'll invite everybody to turn to page 120. And then once you get there, settle into your chair for a moment so we can just kind of center ourselves, leave behind the week that was, and enter Shabbat. So if you want to join me in closing your eyes, I invite you to do so. We'll just take some centering breaths together. Take a deep breath in, let it out. Another deep breath. We hold all the stress of the week. We let it out. One more breath to help us enter Shabbat. Deep breath in. We let it out. Go ahead and flutter your eyes open. And Sarah, if you'll come on up to help us light Shabbat candles this evening. And folks, you're on page 120, and if you'll please rise. We'll welcome some love, light, and warmth as we join with Jess.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lechadlik ner shel Shabbat.
And if you'd like to light your own Shabbat candles, you can do so to my right and to my left as we join in Shalom Aleichem, welcoming some Sabbath angels, page 142. And if you're not going to light your own candles, you can have a seat.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Moachem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bachuni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzidchem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
We'll turn back in our prayer books to Lechadodi, our prayer to continue to warm us up into Shabbat. Lechadodi, welcoming our Sabbath angels, page 138.
Lecha dodi likrat kala yalala 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 Pnei Shabbat Nekabela ay 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 Lecha dodi likrat kala yalala 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 Pnei Shabbat Nekabela ay ay Shamoy v'zachor V'dibor echad Hishmi'anu el ham yuachad Adonai Echad, Shemo Echad, Shemo Tiferet V'Litehila, Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala, Yalala Yalala Yalala, Pnei Shabbat, Nekabela ay ay ay, Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala, Yalala Yalala Yalala, Pnei Shabbat, Nekabela ay ay. Likrat Shabbat, l'chu v'nilcha, ki hi mekor ha'beracha, merosh mikem nesucha, sof ma'aseh b'machshavat tefila, lecha dodi likrat kala, yalala yalala yalala, pnei Shabbat, nekabela ay ay ay. Lecha dodi likrat kala, yalala yalala yalala, Pnei Shabbat, nekabela ay ay. Hitoreri, kiva ore kumi ori, uri uri, shir dabe dodi likrat kala yalalai 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 bnei Shabbat nekabela ay 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 lecha dodi likrat kala yalalai 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 bnei Shabbat nekabela.
We rise and face the door.
Ay ay boi v'shalom ateret bala gam b'simcha u'toch ola toch emunei am segula boi chala
Face forward.
lecha dodi likrat kala yalalai 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 bnei Shabbat nekabela ay 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 lecha dodi likrat kala yalalai 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 bnei Shabbat nekabela.
Page 147 will join together at the top of the page. There is one who sings the song of his own life, finding everything within himself. There is one who leaves the circle of herself and sings the song of her people. There is one whose voice rings with the song of humanity, hoping for the highest perfection. And there is one who rises even higher, uniting with all creatures, with all worlds, filling the universe with song. Nivarech, let us bless. Baruch Hu, page 146.
Yai la lai 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. HaMevorach HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
We bring on the evening Roll into Dark, our prayer of Ma'ariv Aravim, found on the inside back cover of your prayer book.
Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Borei yom v'layla, kolel or mipnei choshech, kolel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night.
Page 152, we feel our feet on the floor. We stand strong and proud. We declare God's oneness, Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch מלכותו לעולם ועד.
Please be seated. Page 154. We have Ve'ahavta, and I want you to look for a second here at the English, at the translation, and to notice that it begins, you shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might. Take to heart these instructions, which I charge you this day. And it says all of that first, before it ever gets to impress them upon your children. Now, this prayer could have started with, impress this upon your children. You shall love Adonai your God, da-da-da-da-da. But the order is very intentional, that if we aren't modeling that we have this love of God, and that we aren't acting in a way that's appropriate and good in the world, how should we expect the next group to do it? And so this prayer is that grounding reminder, whether it's biological children or just the children of the world, that people are watching, and the little ones are watching us. And if we can show more of God's love in the world, maybe the next generation can find more love in the world as well. With that, thank you. With that, page 154, Ve'ahavta.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Emet. Page 159, we join together in preparing for Michamocha. Sing the song of men and women, joined in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come. The song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more. The song of a world redeemed, the song of peace. Michamocha.
Yai lai 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 lai. Michamocha ba'elim Adonai, Michamocha nedar b'kodesh, Norah tehilot osefele, Norah tehilot osefele. Malachutecha ra'u v'anecha, bokei hayom lifnei Moshe, Ze'lianu ve'ameru, Ze'lianu ve'ameru. Adonai imo leolam va'ed, Adonai imo leolam va'ed.
Page 160, we have Hashkivenu, a prayer that asks for God's sheltering presence, God's canopy of peace over us.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu. Shalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu Shmoy Tziteinu Uvoinu Lechaim Ushalom Me'ata ve'ad olam Hashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu Leshalom V'hamidenu Shomreinu Lechaim Hashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu Leshalom V'hamidenu Shomreinu Lechaim V'hamidenu Shomreinu Lechaim.
More than the Jewish people has kept Shabbat, Shabbat has kept the Jewish people. Ahad Ha'am. V'shamru, our prayer of Shabbat, page 162.
V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם אותי לעולם אותי לעולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם וביום השביעי שבת וינפש שבת וינפש שבת וינפש ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם.
There aren't many things as humbling as a 4-year-old asking you how something works. Ima, how does electricity work? Ima, where does lightning come from? Ima, are trees with leaves in winter deciduous or coniferous? Now I spend my nights frantically Googling and relearning things I haven't thought about or really needed to know since elementary school. The whole process is quite humbling. By day, I also have the humbling task of being a rabbi and all it means to pass on Torah and to be a storyteller to the future generations of the Jewish people. So do you. At our core, we Jews are storytellers. And the call to be storytellers and those who answer questions goes all the way back to this week's Torah portion, Parshat Bo. And in our Torah portion, we are in the middle of the story between the enslaved Israelites led by Moses and Pharaoh. And as the plagues begin and continue, God asks Moses to give a speech to ready the people to leave Mitzrayim, to leave Egypt, and make their journey to freedom. Logically, a speech to prepare people to depart for freedom would include what to bring, directions, and inspiration. But Moses doesn't do that in this speech. Instead, Moses commands Remember everything that is happening now, because your children and all future children will ask about this story. You need to be able to tell them what happened. When kids have questions, which they will, we must tell them answers. And now the Torah story doesn't say this next part, but thousands of years of tradition goes on to tell us that when we don't know the answer to a question, we should learn it. And not just for the sake of knowing it, but for the sake of teaching it. The Israelites' journey to freedom had many stops along the way, one of which was our collective Sinai moment, when God revealed the Torah to the Israelites at Mount Sinai. And I bring up this particular moment in our collective memory because it deeply connects to much of the pastoral care that I provide to our members today. I hear from so many in our community that they are constantly thinking about the hostages and their stories. Some have expressed that it disrupts their day, their sleep even. And at the core of their sharing this with me is the question of why they feel so deeply connected. You know, the therapists have offered ways to manage the anxiety, but they haven't gotten to the core of the connection. And that's where I have a deep belief, a faith, an unprovable notion that the reason we feel so connected to each of these hostages is because we've actually met them before. That we all met at Mount Sinai, where Torah says all souls were present to receive our tradition from God. Every year on Yom Kippur, we read the words, Atem netzavim hayom kulchem lifnei Adonai Elohechem. You stand this day, all of you, before Adonai, your God. Not just the Israelites of the time, but tradition says all souls came down to be present for the moment. And since we were all at Mount Sinai, there is a piece of our soul that knows their soul, that knows the soul of each hostage. And because we share that memory, we are all connected to one another, and even more so, perhaps, we feel responsible for one another. Kol Yisrael aravim ze lazeh. All Jews are responsible for one another. And our responsibility for one another means that for 483 days, we have shared the stories of the hostages. We have said their names. We've looked at their faces in photos and videos. We've learned about them so that we can teach our children about this tragedy. Just like Moses told the fleeing Israelites to do for their children, to pay attention and remember the stories. The Jewish people, we are in a collective state of creating painful memories. And that's not to say that each of us aren't simultaneously creating beautiful, wonderful, joyous memories. That's also true. But the memory of our people, when future generations are going to look back 50, 80, 200 years from now, it will be one of pain and resilience. We must continue to talk about what has happened to our people. We must continue to tell the stories of our hostages. Because as we have seen, if we don't, perhaps no one will. Or worse, they'll change the story. We are 483 days since October 7th, and already people are trying to rewrite the history, to say it wasn't real or it didn't happen the way we think it did. The same way people have tried and continue to dismiss or minimize what happened to Jews in the Holocaust. This dismissal is now growing in number with the Holocaust 80 years in the distance. And I know we're tired. And when I get tired, I look for the hopeful. I look for the people that seem to find the energy to get up every day in the face of their tragedies, who put one foot in front of the other and say, we will continue to live a Jewish life. And that's why when I think about what it means to be resilient today and to have hope today, I look no further than Rachel Goldberg Polin, an Ima, Hirsch's mother, a trained educator as well. She has brought an unparalleled vulnerability and voice that has resonated with so many throughout these 483 days. And I had the privilege of learning from her this week. She spoke on a podcast that I listened to, and she shared some of the following. When you ask about what gives us hope or gives me hope, I actually think it's just mandatory. I realized that if you give yourself a choice to be hopeless, to not believe in hope, then we are in big trouble. And there's a fine balance between hope and despair. It's very easy to fall into despair, and despair is a very tricky place to get out of. So I just don't think we have the privilege at this point to do that. I think we have an obligation to stay hopeful. An inner dialogue I have with myself is that I used to say for Hirsch, I used to say to him, I love you, stay strong, survive. I love you, stay strong, survive. And I now say to myself, she says, stay strong, survive, stay strong, survive. But I actually amended it and say stay strong, survive, and thrive. I don't want to just survive, I want to thrive. And I can only do that if I am continuing to be hopeful. Like the Israelites who also battled to find hope as they followed God and Moses on a path toward freedom. Like Rachel Goldberg Polin, who has battled to find hope when at every turn she could have chosen despair. We too must find that which calls us not just to survive, but to thrive as individuals and as a Jewish people. And just as we teach the stories of the Exodus from Egypt, the Holocaust, many other Jewish tragedies, the teachings and memories that we share from this time in our lives will have a lasting impact on the next generation of Jews. May we be present enough to take it all in, thoughtful enough to process what we experience, and strong enough to teach what we learn to the next generation. Shabbat Shalom. We'll continue back in our service, connecting with generations past and yet to be, as we do here at Temple Emanu-El.
Adonai sivatai tiftahu fi agita hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Bekonei Hakol, Vezocher Chastei Avot v'Imahot, Umevi Gula Livnei B'neihem, Leman Shemo B'Ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh hakol atah Rav lehoshia, Mashiv haruach u'morid hagashem, Mechalkel chaim v'chesed, Mechayeh hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim v'rofei cholim, Umatir asurim, ומחיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומידו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיה הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יעלוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
We continue in silent prayer with the words of our prayer book or the prayers of our heart. And when you complete those prayers, I invite you to please have a seat.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam.
Page 178.
Ki atahu melech adom lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adom lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov beinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam.
It is my pleasure to invite forward Jeff Pollock, member of our Board of Trustees and Brotherhood, to share some announcements.
Thank you. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
My first announcements, and I got all the rules, and I was told I had 90 seconds. So here we go. Good evening. I'm Jeff Pollock. I'm on the board and your Brotherhood co-chair. Welcome. It's good to see you all here and online. So thank you all for coming. The Oneg tonight is sponsored by the Temple, and we'd like to thank the following people who helped prepare it: Julie Shapiro, Sharon Hall Barenhout, Ann Mandel, Michelle Fox, Diane Merdinger, Karen Schultz, Terry Hurd, Elise Kellert, and Nora Florsheim. So thank you very much. And a couple programming notes. We have a full calendar here at the Temple, so I invite you to visit the website. But two highlights. On February 5th at 5:30, we will have a business networking event featuring Ron Brill, who is the original employee at Home Depot and a very instrumental member here at the temple. So we'll get to talk to him, and he'll share some remarks with us, and we'll get to know each other there. And the sisterhood, I'm going to read this to you. Sisterhood Wellness, February 12th. Join your Temple Emanu-El sisters for a night of exercise, humor, meditation, creativity, and fun. We will begin the evening with a group meditation on peace and illumination guided by Arlene Katz, followed by a group fitness class led by Jody Lohr, the jazzercise instructor. So ending our program, beginning laughter and joy, we will participate in laughter yoga sessions facilitated by Debbie Ellison, a certified trainer. Beginners are welcome, and the instructors will appeal to all of the experience levels, and healthy snacks will be served. So good evening, Shabbat Shalom. Thank you.
Shabbat Shalom, nailed it. All right, friends, so this is the part in our service where we pause for a moment, and we get to share some of the good going on in our lives. So if there's anything in your life that is going well right now and you would like to share that thing, maybe it's a birthday, maybe it's an anniversary, whatever you want it to be, you say your name and you say the thing that is good. Rabbi Rachel, and I am a capable mother who is with the 2 kids while Rabbi Max is doing a quick trip to Florida to do a wedding, and I got this. Who's got something?
Hi, I'm Russ Hathaway, and it's been a tough 2 months. I've had 2 endoscopies, which came back. I dodged 2 bullets, negative cancer. So.
Wonderful. Good to hear. Thank you.
I'm Jocelyn, and February 12th-ish or something, we're going to Albania for a year and a half. Yeah.
They're about to move to Albania for a year and a half. And then we look forward to welcoming them back after the adventure.
I'm Margie Barenhout, and I have a 2-week-old great-grandson.
Oh, Mazel Tov. Wonderful. Oh, gosh, you guys are getting my steps in tonight.
Thank you. I want to say that we are in the middle of one of the best committees I've ever been on. And I'm soliciting everybody's help. Our gift shop has closed, and we are turning the place that was the gift shop to a memory board of Temple Emanu-El. So I'm soliciting any type of item that you want to share of the past of our journey.
Wonderful. And this is Linda.
Oh, I'm Linda. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Thank you. Sam?
I'm Sam Grazier, and my youngest turned 44 yesterday.
Mazel Tov.
My name is Ruby, and our grandparents are coming.
That's always fun. Wonderful. And I'll share Rabbi Spikes, which is that he and our religious school director, Beth Blick, are in Washington, D.C. right now with somewhere between 19 and 21. I never got the final count because I don't have to count them this weekend. But the highest number of our teenagers to go to the Religious Action Center, which is part of the Reform movement, and they are there for a weekend learning how to lobby their elected officials through the Reform movement. So that is where a bunch of our teenagers are this weekend, having an amazing time together. And so to mark this moment in time and thank God for reaching this day, we turn to page 648 for Shehechianu.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu v'hegianu lazman hazeh.
So just as we always do every week and every day of our lives, we hold all the complexities of the world together and we bring them into the space And so it's at this point in our service that we offer a prayer for the hostages. A prayer we'll continue to say until they are all home, and God willing, 3 more make that journey safely tomorrow.
Acheinu kol Beit Yisrael, Acheinu kol Beit Yisrael, Hanatuni b'tzara, b'tzara uvashivya, ha'omdim bein bayam uvein bayabasha. Hamakom yirachem, yirachem aleihem, v'yotziei mitzara, lirvacha, u'me'afala leora, u'mishibui ligula hashta bagala, uvizman karim.
We turn now to page 371, and as we prepare for Misha Berach, I hold in my heart, all of the families of those affected by the airplane crash in D.C. and helicopter crash in D.C. And sometimes we don't often say it from up here, but the war in Gaza and Israel has affected all kinds of people on both sides of the border. And I pray for healing for all of those innocent souls that are stuck in the middle of it all. And so I want to raise that up as well, as we are also thinking of Rob Gilbert, Charlie Cohn, Kaska Mishkogi, Tzvi Ben Natan, John Laszlo, Lisa Kabrinsky, Jackie Beres, Norma Greenspan, Pam Holland, Alan Mintz, Ken Schiffer, Nancy Berkowitz, Akiva Avraham Ben Zev and Veliba, Sarah Mack, and is it Laurel Chosmer. And so if there's a name you'd like to add that you're thinking about this Shabbat, that you're praying for their healing of mind, body, spirit, or relationship, I invite you to put a little hand up as my eyes meet yours. Thank you. 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 So we'll rise for Misha Berach. If your neighbor is comfortable, wrap an arm around one another and pray together.
Misha Berach Avoteinu Mikor HaBracha Limotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu Mikor HaBracha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shalema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
We'll remain standing and turn in our prayer book to page 123 for Kiddush. Anybody under the age or who has not yet had their bar or bat mitzvah, I know you're scattered around here. Come on up. Yep, for Kiddush. Miss Sharma, Ria, I see you. The Mills, Jocelyn. And come grab a little juice cup. And then come on up to the steps. And we'll join together, page 123.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho b'yahava uvratzon hinkilanu. Zikaron l'maaseh b'reishit, ki hu yom techila l'mikra'ei kodesh, ze'acher l'tziat Mitzrayim. Ki vanu v'harta, v'yotanu kidashta, mikol hamim, v'shabbat kodshecha, be'ahava uvratzon, yinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh haShabbat. Amen.
All right, guys, and then put your juice cups right back down on the table, and then head up to the ark with me. Everybody else, page 586. Come on, come on. Do you want to open it? Get up there. Get on. Well, you need some help. Perfect. You just slide it open. Yep.
Aleinu l'shaveach l'adon hakol, l'teit gedula l'yotzer bereshit, shelo asanu kegoyei haratzot, velo samanu kamishpachot hadama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol hamonam. Vanachnu korim umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu v'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu Ushemo, Ushemo, Ushemo Echad.
All right, we redeemed ourselves with the close. Please be seated. Excellent job. I'm on page 593. The light of life is a finite flame, like the Shabbat candles. Life is kindled, it burns, it glows, it is radiant with warmth and beauty, but soon it fades, its substance is consumed, and it is no more. In light we see, in light we are seen. The flames dance and our life burns down in gutters. There is an end to the flames. We see no more and are no more seen. Yet we do not despair, for we are more than a memory slowly fading into the darkness. With our lives, we give life. Something of us can never die. We move in the eternal cycle of darkness and death, of light and life. On this Shabbat, we are thinking of the family who's in a period of Shiv'ah for Gary Kicklighter, those in Shloshim for Andy Littman, Charles Chuck Fridkin, Arnold Menace, and those observing yahrzeits for Robert Alberhaski, Bernard Birnbaum, Mike Bach, Tyler Brown, Lois Cohen, Nat Diamond, Lois Felder, Herbert Finfer, Don Goldman, Francis Gusky, Dr. Ronald W. Harris, Stuart Cates, Evelyn Katz, Herman Kirschner, George Koff, Lola Crispo, Rosalind Kuttner, Ethel Miller-Littman, Molly Melnick, Ada Rosenthal, Doris Rosberg, Sylvia Ruskin, Francis Gilman Saperstein, Munyo Schmid, Ashish Sharma, Shayla Shore, Robert Sloan, Mary Smith, Terry Tenenbaum, Meyer Weiner, Gloria Weiss, Irving M. Yonks, Stuart Young, and Carol Zelizer Stoff. If there is a name I inadvertently skipped or mispronounced, I invite you to please share that name aloud. Thank you. If you are in a period of Shloshim, the first 30 days mourning the loss of a loved one, I invite you to please rise so we can recognize you. If you're in the first year Yod Bet, mourning the loss of a loved one, I invite you to rise so we can recognize you. If on this Shabbat you are observing a yahrzeit, a death anniversary of a loved one, to rise so we can recognize you. And if it is your custom to rise for Mourner's Kaddish, as we do here at Temple Emanu-El, I invite you to do so now. Words of Kadisha Tome, our Mourner's Kaddish, page 598. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, be'alma divra chirute v'amlich malchute, b'chayachon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach leolam ulamei amaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei d'kudesha barichu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabbah min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Osei shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen.
Osei shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
And last but not least, we have our challah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, everyone.